Okay guys, here we are finally. I want to share with you this method in order to basically do whatever you want with the models in PES. I tested this out with the help of Hawke and Hoppus from EvoWeb forum, and we tested it on balls and on boots. So the same method should apply, I'm pretty sure, to gloves too, of the goalkeeper. I don't know the other models, but just these three things are really a massive innovation for modding and creating our own models. The thing that you will need is an add-on for Blender version 2.79. Now is the 18th of June 2020. I don't know if this add-on will be available also for the newest version of Blender. I'm currently using version 2.83 here on my left, this one. The tool actually works only in this version of in this older version of Blender, but for what we need to do, it's basically okay. So the tool that you will need is this one right here that I will share with you, and is a tool available on GitHub, and download it as a zip. And as soon as you download it, you need to basically take this folder right here, the one because as soon as you open it, you will get a folder, and then this one PES FMDL, and put this folder on your desktop or wherever you want. Then compress this folder as a zip, and then go to Blender version 2.79, File, User Preferences, Install add-on from File, and choose the new archive you just made. And if you search for FMDL, I actually will make this again, because this way you will see it. Now I have it installed, but I will remove it. Okay, so I will install it again, and if I type FMDL, I can find it. And no, it's not this one, it's actually this one. And refresh your software, and then you can close it, or you can also save user settings. Then you will find what you need right here. Import FMDL and compose FMDL, but actually compose won't be used because we will import it, and then the export function will work. Now I will first show you what you can do with balls, and I have here on Blender 2.83 the model of a ball I made myself, and here is basically how it's made. And maybe if someone wants, I can do a video where I show all the steps to achieve this kind of ball, because this has a strange structure. But yeah, I made two UV maps, one for the diffuse and one other for the normal map. And for example, here is the UV map for the diffuse, and here instead is the normal map. But I didn't texture it, so I'm sorry for that. Because it was a pretty busy week, so I didn't have any time to do that. But yeah, when you have more than one map, more than one UV map, I suggest you to export this model in a .fbx file. So go to export FBX and export it whatever you want. I will call it because this is an Umbro ball, so Umbro ball final. Make sure that selected objects is enabled, otherwise it will export all the meshes inside your project, and don't touch anything else because that's fine. Export, and here now we can import our FBX. Here we go. And now, of course, we need the model of a ball that is already present in the game. And this is a really important thing. If you want a metalness map inside your model, start with a ball that already have a metalness map inside. Otherwise, you won't be able to add to your model. For this model, there is no need for metalness map, so I won't do all the process again just for adding one map, but basically it's the same method. You just need to start with a ball that has already a metalness map inside it. So in Win, you will have probably only these two files, ball.fpk and ball.fpkd, and you need obviously to extract this file, and to do that is actually pretty simple. There is a wonderful tool made by MJTS. Maybe it's better if I show you the whole process. So we'll start with these two files. You just need to do this. Basically, it will automatically create this folder and this XML, and this folder, as you can see, contains the FMDL file. Okay, so this is the one that we want to import. So go back to Blender version 2.79, go to import FMDL, and select the one that we already extracted. Now you cannot see anything because actually it's hidden by this one, and here you have. And unless you model it from the beginning with the right dimensions, you will need to scale it. Just press S and scale it as soon as basically we'll get these deformations, because now the mesh basically is touching itself, the two meshes. So this is the right dimension, yes. Okay, so the next step to do is go in your material tab with I called my ball that I made in Blender 2.83 to export. So in this mesh, you have to select this mesh, select the material, click here, and select Basic FX. This Basic FX is nothing else than the texture root of your ball that you just imported. Now we need to delete this mesh and use our own mesh. So go here, delete, right click, delete, select this, and drag by clicking on this orange triangle and drag it inside the ball FAPK slash ball, and rename this mesh ball, both them. Oops. And remove the 001, and I hope that I use the same name as before, but if not, make sure that these two have the same name of the mesh of the FMDL. Now basically you have done. And as you can see here, all the textures that the previous ball had now are also of our model. And if you click here, you can see that here is the UV map, and here is the normal map, because we here, for example, I will show you in Blender 2.83. I call the diffuse map as UV map and the normal map as normal map, and use these names because they are the standardized names for matches in Blender for balls. And now you just need to go to scene again and export FMDL. And with this still open, choose this ball.fpk.xml, drag it, and now you will see that this will update, because it takes again this ball FPK folder and compress it inside this FPK file. Now basically you have done. You will need just to install your ball inside your ball server, and for that I suggest you to go to the ball server thread inside the EvoWeb forum, and there basically it can tell you how to install each ball. But it's actually pretty simple. You just need to take I call this originale in my language, is original basically, and you take this folder here that contains asset and common, you place inside your content folder of ball server, and then you just need to add this originale folder name, inside your map structure of ball server. But just remember to give to your ball the same ID that you will find here. For example, this is 015, so this should not change, and this is basically the ball that we started from. Okay, so now we'll show you the boots method, and this will also apply to gloves, I suppose. Basically, I just chosen two boots with one with MTL map, as you can see here, that has an ID of 0066, and one with no MTL. As you can see here, there is no MTL. What I want to show you now is actually how we can give these boots an MTL map. The process is actually pretty easy, but you just need to follow all the steps. You will need two instances of Blender. This is just to not make any confusion between the models, and I will show you why. So basically, let's start with this one and just extract your boots FPK file, and do the same with the other boots. So go here and extract. Now we have extracted both of the models, and of course I won't go deep also with the edit. I will just stop here, and it's basically the same process, but I will tell you the only difference you will need later on. Okay, so let's start to import one of them. So I will go into my scene, import FMDL. Now I can hide actually this, and find your boots with MTL and import it. I will delete now with X my default cube, and as you can see here, it's been ported correctly. And now let's go here, scene, import FMDL, choose again the folder where you have your two files, but this one will be the one without the MTL file and texture. So here we have the two models. I want to give this model the MTL texture. How to do that? It's actually pretty easy. So Of course, the boots are more complex. The bolts were really easy as a model, but don't be confused. Here you have two meshes, mesh ID 0 and mesh ID 1. Mesh ID 1 is just these things here. You don't need them. You just need the mesh ID 0. Actually, you can do with both methods, but I prefer to do with this. Make sure that you are in object mode. Select this mesh, put your mouse here, Ctrl C, go here, Ctrl V. Now you have something to delete. First of all, the skeleton right here should be deleted. You don't need it because you already have one skeleton. Then choose your mesh boots, mesh ID 0, click on the material tab, click here and choose basic LFX 001. And then do the same for the mesh ID 1. Then delete the model, this one that you just copied right here, pasted right here. Okay, and now you will have two meshes that didn't change at all, but with the textures completed with the MTL texture. And what you want to do now, basically, you just need to go to Scene and export FMDL. Now there is something to do more than with the balls. It's not over yet. Here this is the boots with no MTL at the beginning, and now it's actually with an MTL. You have this XML that you should of course put right here to compose your FPK file. And if you double click here, now you need to go straight down at the end of your and for that of course you will need this software HXD, and here you need to change something. Basically, as you can see here, the ID of these boots is 1022. So the game will try to read everything in 1022. But to do that, you must change everything that is 0066 from here to the end to 1022. And so basically, write all the time 1022 and then move again and 1022. You can also use, of course, find and replace. I'm just showing you a long way. And basically the long but also harsh way. I think that it changed everything, but now I will do the smart way, that is find, and I will select everything, and I will type the one that I want to delete, that I think was 0066. I don't remember actually. Today is yes, 0066. I was right, and say search all, and we still have here, for example, and lucky that I try to find it. And now basically when you will save it, now basically you have your own boots with your own MTL map. Before doing anything, make sure that all the textures that are present in your WinDX11 are called correctly here. For example, here we have K1022 underscore N underscore L underscore NRM, and Here, this is for the inside part of your shoe, so it's for the boot edit. It's not for this file, but make sure, of course, that when you will do the boot edit too, make sure that even those are correct. And as you can see here, we have the same name, EK. Here is the EK1022, and oh, I jumped to the S, but it's the same SLSRM. The main problem is this one, because sometimes it's called MTL, sometimes it's called MLT, and it's a really pain in the ass, but just make sure that all the textures are called correctly. Otherwise, you will lose files. And if you want to rename your textures, you can, but make sure to use the same number of digits. Otherwise, mess will go on. So, for example, I can say here X, but of course, when I will import my new MTL texture, I need to call it EK1022 underscore T underscore X underscore MTL dot text. And that's important, guys. Okay, guys, for the results, I suggest you to go to Evil Web Forum, and in the thread of Hawke and also of Opus, you will find the boost in Opus thread, and done with this technique, and also the ball made by Hawke. Also, it was made with this technique. So go there and you will find the results in game. I just want to underline one thing. With this method, as you can see, you can do pretty much anything. I didn't change the model here or the UV map, but you can actually do it. And it's actually pretty easy. For example, if you go here, you will select here the map, and in edit mode, if you select everything, as you can see, these boots has just one UV map for both of them. In fact, if I type hell here to select all the left boot, I can see that basically it's the same of the right boot. But you can actually select everything here, and the scale, for example, by on the y-axis by pressing Y and then 0.5 and then GY and move it, and do the same here, SY 0.5, oops, select everything with L, sorry, SY 0.5 GY and move it down. Now if I select everything, you can see that now they are separated. Of course, this was made in 10 seconds. You can actually do this slower and with more attention to the details and everything, but yeah, you can do that. You can also change the boot. You can I don't know, with the proportional editing, you can make this taller, or you can for example make like another kind of boot. You can do everything. The method is the same, and actually it's easier to change the model and then export, because you just need to import the FMDL, do all your changes, then export the FMDL, and that's it. If you want to change material, as I showed to you, it can be a bit trickier, but it's really easy. And maybe you can also change the ID from here, but I don't suggest you to do that. It's easier actually to do that directly on the X editor. Now this, of course, is not updated because this was the one before the X edit. And that's it, guys. Have fun now to edit boots, gloves, and balls wherever you want, and however you want, and so on. It's up to you. The possibility now is basically endless. They are endless. There is no limit, apart from, of course, knowing a bit of modellation of 3D software. That's it. Thank you, guys.